Crypto markets just made another significant move down. This is not the low volatility weekend trading environment that we have become accustomed to over the last few weeks. Let's break down exactly what happened, why, and what I see coming next. So first of all, taking a look here on the hourly chart on Coinbase, you can see we're currently trading at a price of $96,000. Bitcoin came into lows here again on Coinbase at $93,932. We are up, in fact, bouncing to current prices about 2.25%, but we're down on yesterday's trading something like 3.14%. I think I said yesterday it was likely if we made another leg down we would come into this mid 95k region, and that is pretty much what's happened on average, although we did extend a little bit further. And of course, as you might have come to expect, more long liquidations, about $570 million worth this time over the last 24 hours, and about $150 million worth over the last 12 hours. Let's see how that stacks up right now. Well, pretty balanced, as you might expect after a bigger move like that, especially on the closer time frames or the closer prices to where we are sitting right now. That is pretty much balanced with a skew to the short side. And if we zoom this out on the cross exchanges liquidation map, you can see still a massive disparity in shorts versus longs. More than $15 billion worth of short liquidation risk in the market right now versus a comparatively negligible sub $2 billion long liquidation risk. But sure enough, people keep buying when they see these bounces, and you can see that that has happened once again if we look at the daily timeframes. As I just said, pretty much balanced, but clearly it wasn't balanced before, and people have bought into this again. Two major things that we need to cover. First of all, the Fed watch chances of that 25 basis point rate cut at the next meeting are now less than 50-50, okay, less than a flip of the coin. We're down at 44.4%. It's looking like the Fed is really pulling back on these restrictions that we've seen to data releases since the government reopened. It does look like we're going to get that September data now. Let me just find the correct headline for you here. September jobs report will be out Thursday, as far as the first data since shutdown starts to trickle out. As the US government reopens for business, Wall Street's attention will now turn towards when the critical data on employment, inflation, and other economic signposts will be released. That is the key thing here, right? When? It definitely should be released. It was true just after the government reopened. It sounded like we weren't going to get any of that data at one point. Then it sounded like we were going to get limited data. This is just after the government reopened. And that is cause for concerns, right? Cause for concern. America's lingering data black hole should worry investors, and it seems that it certainly does worry investors. It worries the Fed because this is the key data. This is the employment data that they use to make key monetary policy decisions, like the rate cut, which would be the first most important thing for investors to look at. Of course, the rate cut would mean investors get less money for holding their assets in yield-bearing instruments and more money for holding their assets in holding their capital in risk assets such as equities. That is the stock market, if you prefer. And we can see the S&P also down on yesterday evening, and also bouncing just overnight here pretty cleanly off the 200-week moving average. So markets are kind of braced, right? It's very sort of scattered, the way this information seems to be coming out. As I said, latest was we were going to get the October data, but it was going to be missing key parts of that. And now, more recently today, it's looking like we have a date for when we're going to get the September data. And the numbers don't lie, as they say. I think the market will be braced for this. But you can see, of course, the percentage chance of a rate cut and basically how the market reacts to that are tied in lockstep. And this is what we're talking about when we're talking about efficient markets. Okay, the information is moved so efficiently, you don't have a pricing advantage on hearing that data, right? So it's not the case where we see, oh, look, there's a 44.4% chance of a 25 basis point rate cut at the next meeting, and that was at 50% the last time I checked, so it's gone down. So now equities are going to go down. It happens much quicker than that, and these two things, particularly with the bond market, is part of how this the odds of this rate cut are basically built and how that is priced into the market. So markets reacting to that, markets reacting to the lack of data, although it is looking like we're starting to get a bit of clarity on that. But I think what we really need is to actually start seeing what those numbers are, seeing how the Fed reacts, and then seeing how the market reacts. It's not looking good for the US economy. And as I've said before, traditionally, that would have been a plus point for Bitcoin, right? Behaving more like gold, more like a safe haven asset. But Bitcoin is a much, much bigger beast right now. And there's kind of two ways you can look at this. Okay, the first is it should behave more like a risk asset because more institutions are buying it and holding it as a risk asset. And arguably more and more companies are buying it and holding it on their treasury. The flip side of that is when you see distrust in the markets, distrust in management, as it were, Trump and his behavior around the government shutdown and the way that data is being arguably redacted. That is that core employment data that we're waiting for coming out of the US since the shutdown, all kind of pushes the sentiment back on, well, the monetary system is broken. Perhaps Bitcoin is the answer. But at least looking at pricing data, that is not the side that we're landing on. The other thing I will say is, thinking about this long term, remember that although Bitcoin and the crypto market is much bigger than it was, it's still a lot smaller than a lot of these big tech companies, for example. It's still a pretty small beast in the grand scheme of things. And that means it is very easy for big players to bully prices around, okay? It can be very true that institutions want to hold a lot of Bitcoin, and they also want to, or I should say, it's beneficial to them that the prices come down rapidly and that retail gets liquidated and squeezed out, just like this that we're seeing, right? The $500 million worth of long liquidations in the last 24 hours. Both of those things can be true at the same time. If you want to hold Bitcoin over the next 5-10 years, then any discount is a great time to buy. I'm still dollar cost averaging in, by the way, on my long-term spot holdings. But there you go. That is what I'm looking at right now, what I'm interested in the future. Specifically, we need to see more of this data coming out. We need to see what the data is, and the date for that September jobs data is now going to be Thursday next week. As always, not financial advice, just my opinion, just for entertainment purposes. But thank you so much for watching. Plenty more to come.